I can't help but ask, it's State of Origin in the Rugby League this week, and that's always great to watch. I look forward to watching that on Wednesday nights.
Where is it?
It's in Sydney. New South Wales versus Queensland.
Well, you can narrow it down.
Yeah.
They're out at Homebush.
Yeah, at Homebush.
Oh,
yeah, at the stadium next door to Giant Stadium.
Yeah.
That's where they're playing it. Always look forward to your boys.
It is good.
Yeah?
It is good.
Yeah,
I do enjoy it.
One of the more enjoyable ones. Look, I know the debate happens every year. I'm not going to say should we bring back State of Origin, but I want to pose a hypothetical to you both. Let's just say State of Origin is back in the AFL world. It's happening. How are we doing it?
That's the problem with AFL. There's 2 states in Australia that play NRL, so they can do it.
Mm-hmm. And the best players in the country are on the field at the one time.
And it's their absolute pinnacle.
Okay.
There's no way you can do it in AFL, in my opinion, because even if you have an all-star team, you're still missing great players.
Well, no one gives a rat's ass.
No one goes to the all-star team.
So if we're having this State of Origin, who's playing?
How are we doing it?
Who's playing?
That's up to you. I'm going to ask you, who do you think should play?
Well, if you're going to...
If you want to do it properly if you want to do it properly for rivalry, you have Victoria and South Australia.
Which would be a great spectacle.
And tradition. And you have it at Adelaide Oval.
There is 60% of the best players
who
don't qualify.
Yep.
So, yeah, it'd be great. And they'd pack it out. It'd be 90,000 at the MCG to watch that. No doubt about that.
Or even a packed parochial South Australian crowd at Adelaide.
The only way you could do it, in my opinion, is do it American All-Star, East versus West. So Victoria versus the rest, so that you get all the interstate teams, but they have to play for that team.
Could I even do something radical?
No one cares.
Yeah, that doesn't have that meaning.
No one cares anyway. It's a hypothetical
we're talking about.
But
if
they
you
would
build
care
it up,
about a Victorian.
So I'm saying you got to be, if you play for Victoria, but you were born in play for Richmond, say, and you're from South Australia, you play for the Victorian team. It depends where you play. So all the interstate teams. So if you're a West Coast supporter, you're going to barrack for that team. Where if you're in Victoria, you're going to barrack for...
Question for you, Tom, because you played State of Origin for Tasmania.
Yeah.
Question for you, as someone who probably would have played for Victoria, I know you're born in New South Wales, but you're junior footy and you grew up in Medella.
So it qualifies Victoria.
You qualify as Victoria. Do you sometimes regret the fact there wasn't that sort of rep footy to play in?
Played AFLX.
Sorry. Well, that's sorry. End of discussion.
You make a good point.
Yeah, sorry. I'll just disregard this entire conversation because, of course, you didn't. Because one of the things that those who did play State of Origin, particularly the late great Teddy Whitten or Bob Skilton talks about it, or even Dale Waitman has spoken about it before. It's like, well, I didn't play in a good team during the year, but I got to play with the best players and play at the best level, and I wasn't tagged, so it was the highlight of my footballing year. You playing for a struggling Brisbane Lions team would have probably relished playing State of Origin if that opportunity had presented you.
Played for Australia, that was enough.
In international rules?
Yeah. Nah, I don't think so. I think we've moved past it. Maybe if it was still around. I love NRL and I love the New South Wales-Queensland rivalry.
Oh, it's the best.
New South Wales, so I've been on the wrong side of it.
Yeah.
Cherry Evans, his wife's name's a Rockliff. We're cousins, so I've got a bit of a foot in each camp, so I can't really lose, but not really. I think AFL's changed so much that it's not the pinnacle. Our pinnacle is the grand final. Mm-hmm. I would argue that the NRL's pinnacle is State of Origin.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Like it's their cash cow.
Yeah, it's not the grand final.
Huge.
And even their international rules, like Australian AFL's international rules is the same. It's a bit of a waste of time. Our pinnacle is the grand final, and I think it should remain that. Where NRL, their pinnacle is the next 6 weeks, because they start talking about Origin December all the way through. Where AFL, it's a build up to the grand final, and for me, yes, it would have been nice, I suppose, to pull on the Big V jumper. You play it the whole way through your junior career, but it's not something I look back on and go, gee, I wish I played for Victoria. It was fantastic when they did it in 08, I think, or 09, when they played the
2008, the 150 anniversary of the sport.
Yep. I think Fev kicked a bag and got best on ground.
He did.
Something.
But it's just, it's not the pinnacle, and you can't play a best of three. And the thing is, our game goes for a lot longer. NRL players can play on a Wednesday night and back up on a Friday or Saturday.
Well, so some of them will be interesting. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So I think leave it as is.
Yeah, I think it's hard. I think, we can't get the best players on the field. No one cares about East versus West. Mm-hmm. But in saying that, a couple of my greatest memories were playing for Tassie. The twofold when we got a win over Victoria at North Hobart Oval. That was huge as a young player to play with iconic Tasmanians that you'd sort of watched from afar and got to line up against them. The other one was my first year of the VFL. We played in the 1988 State of Origin Carnival, where everyone came to Adelaide. It was in February. It was hot as buggery, to be honest. But there was 2 divisions, and we were in second division. But you got to play teams. It must be over a 2-week period. I think we played 3 games. But yeah, it was huge. It was massive. It was great. But I just don't think you can't have a carnival because the risk of getting injured for professional athletes these days, players and clubs don't want you to do it.
No, but it was very interesting. A couple of weeks ago, Gary Lyon got fired up about the fact that we put the clubs before the game in sacrificing State of Origin.
And Gaz loved playing for Victoria, as we all would love it, but you can't possibly get it up and going because you can't get the best players on the ground. If you wanted to do a exhibition match against South Australia once every 4 years, you'll get that. And probably it's something periodic. Every 3 or 4 years have a big exhibition match.
Could I throw the idea out where, a bit like the All-Australian team, we still name a Victorian origin team, we still name a WA SA team every year. You get presented with that jumper. It's an official selection and it sort of counts as an achievement? Or does it lose its...
Not for me, just a waste of time.
So what you named as a... even a symbolic kind of thing?
I think that's
like
for us.
an All-Australian?
I think that's for us to do next week.
Participation award.
Okay.
What about, so when you beat
Is an All-Australian a participation award?
Down North Hobart, they were saying there was 36 of you guys on the ground.
Here we go.
Did you know Tasmanian football went broke that day because everyone got in on the same family team?
Yeah, righty. Hey, how's this turned on me again?
The gatekeeping.
74-year-old blokes are getting bullied.